Crikey, this housing market's a bit of a wanker, isn't it? Thank you. I know my Australian/British accent is way too good. Please hold your autograph requests to the end of the video because we have some big issues that we're going to be going over in the condo market here in Miami-Dade so that you guys can make the most informed real estate decisions possible. Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty, your Miami real estate agent. And if you like videos like this where I'm bringing you data straight from the MLS, interpreting it for you, and giving you guys my expert real estate advice, do me a quick little favor. It costs you $0.00 and 0% interest. If you smash the like button, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell, and then if you really think this video might interest or benefit somebody you know, consider sharing it with them. So we're gonna be talking about everything from months of inventory to median sales prices to days on market, all the different information that you guys need to know in addition to mortgage rates and what they're at today. So we had a big increase today. We're going to be talking about that and interpreting it for you. So let's not waste any more time. Let's interpret our way into this video. All right, so first and foremost, guys, what I want to show you first here is that average U.S. Mortgage rates have climbed to their highest levels since 2008 in response to the Fed's monetary tightening, with the average 30-year fixed rate conventional home loan reaching a staggering 6.62%. as of September 22nd, the day that I'm recording this video. So while home price gains remain high on a year-over-year basis, they have been decelerating, which is good, but this means that somebody buying a median priced condo of $390,000 right now has a monthly payment of $3,167 per month versus somebody who bought a $390,000 condo in January of 2021 who has a monthly payment of, get the Kleenex ready for your tears, $2,345 a month, which is a difference of $822 per month. And that's made up entirely of interest. So that's not fun. And you can see how buyers have lost a ton of purchasing power solely to interest rates increasing. So no bueno if you're a buyer. And additionally, the number of active condos and townhome listings and the new condos and townhome listings are down for the first time month over month in the last 5 months, okay? So currently sitting at 7,071 active listings. That's the green line here, right? So we had a little pop up and then it's kind of leveling out at 7,071 active listings right now versus 7,223 active listings in August. So that's a 2.1% decrease right there, just month over month in the supply, okay? So as for new listings, we're at 1,462, which is down there, versus August's 2,329. So prorated by days, we should be at about 1,652 in order to remain at par on level with what we were at last month. However, we're not there. We're actually 11.5% less than where we'd need to be just to remain even with last month's new listings. So it's not a great sign for those who want the real estate market to normalize because we need more listings in order for that to happen. So moral of the story is that our inventory problem seems to be getting worse just when it was looking like it was starting to get better after 5 months of inventory increases. But this really isn't a surprise because if you're a seller with a 3% interest rate or anything under what our current rates are, why would you sell and then have to go buy at 6.62%? Of course, other than the cases where people absolutely have to move, it's basically, in my opinion, it's leading sellers to defer selling for the time being. So, as long as we have really high interest rates like that, higher than what a lot of potential sellers are, I think that's going to continue to be one factor that leads people to be like, maybe I'm not going to sell right now. So in my opinion, this is all part of the Fed's plan to correct the housing market. So if you weren't aware, quick little recap: on Wednesday, September 21st, Jerome Powell, chairman of the Fed, Papa Powell, said that the U.S. housing market will probably go through a correction after a period of red-hot price increases that have put homeownership out of the reach of many Americans. There was a big imbalance. Housing prices were going up at an unsustainably fast level. For the longer term, what we need is supply and demand to get better aligned so housing prices go up at a reasonable level, at a reasonable pace, and people can afford houses again. We probably, in the housing market, have to go through a correction to get back to that place. So these comments came at a news conference following the Fed's decision to raise its policy rates by another 75 basis points. That's the third 75 basis point hike in a row. The Fed's rate hikes this year have had their biggest impact on the housing sector, slowing sales and bringing prices a bit lower. And shelter inflation will remain high for some time, Powell said. He also said, quote, "The deceleration in housing prices that we're seeing should help bring prices more in line with rents and other housing market fundamentals," and that's a good thing. So let's look at price action and demand next. So that's going to be here. So here we have the median sale price versus median days on market. Days on market's your blue line, median sale price is your green line. And as we saw the other day with single family homes, if you hadn't watched that last video, go check it out if you're interested in the single family home market. Notice that the little dip in median sale price that we saw from June to August, right? So we're looking at that green line if you're following along on screen. That little dip here that we saw from June to August has now reversed course, so far at least in September. So we're currently at a median sale price of $390,000 versus $375,000 last month in August, for an increase of 4% month over month, and a 19.3% increase year over year of the median sale price of $327,000 in September of 2021. So, one somewhat encouraging sign is that median days on market has been increasing over the last 2 months. And the 2 months before that, in May and June, median days on market was the same at 22 days each of those months. So overall, this is a sign that the market is slowing, okay? So that's somewhat encouraging. And once it slows enough, we hope, meaning that, properties are sitting longer and longer to the point where, hopefully we'll see those median sale prices start to go back down, okay? So that's, fingers crossed, right? So if we see a 20% correction from the peak in Miami-Dade, which I think is not very likely, but 20% seems to be what a lot of people, including the Fed, are hoping and expecting to see nationwide. So if we apply that 20% to Miami, then we should see median sales prices get down to $332,000, which is 20% less than $415,000, which was our peak in May. Okay, so 415 was the peak of the market in May. 20% less would be 332. If we see a 10% correction from that peak, which I think is probably more reasonable considering that Miami is one of, if not the hottest housing market in the country, then we should see those median sale prices get down to around more of like the $370,000 range, which actually is only $5,000 less than our median sale price in August. Let's look at the numbers of sales and months of inventory, which if you've been watching my channel for a while, months of inventory means if no new listings came on the market, how long would it take to sell the existing supply? All right, so we're going to be looking at sales, number of sales, and months of inventory for condos in Miami-Dade to see what kind of conclusions that we can draw. Okay, so if we project this data out, if we project the number of sales out for the rest of September, based on what we have so far, we're currently on track to have a very low sales month. Currently, we're at 740 closed sales versus 1,500 in August, okay? So we're like almost at half, even though we're in the 22nd day of the month as I'm recording this. So the projection, based on what I'm seeing, of about 48.4 sales per day in August means that if we should really be closer to 1,065 sales at this point if we were going to stay on par with last month, which means that we're currently at 21.7% less sales than we'd need to in order to see, to see it stay on track with last month, like I said. So it looks like we might see a final number of around 1,010 sales, which would be very low. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. Make sure that you guys subscribe so that you can be in the know. But for now, sales aren't looking very strong, which is what we need in order to see this market sort of balance out, okay? So as for months of inventory, ignore the months of inventory for September since it's an incomplete month, but months of inventory has also been increasing since March. Last month, we hit 5 months of inventory for the second month in a row, which, and the lowest that we actually got to was 2 months of inventory back in March of this year. So a normal market, just so you know, is considered to be between 6 to 12 months of inventory. Less than that is a seller's market. More than 12 is considered a buyer's market, okay? So less than 6, sellers, 6 to 12, normal, more than 12, buyer, okay? So we're a long way until we get to a buyer's market, but we're not really that far away from a potential normal seller's market, we're only 1 month away. So that could be this month, as sales continue to decrease, we could see, even though inventory is also decreasing, we could potentially see months of inventory get up to 6 months of inventory for September. So that'll be really interesting. Could be a sea change. Could be the beginning of big changes to come. So what in the world does this mean if you're a buyer? What does it mean if you're a seller? Well, if you're a buyer in this market, personally, I'm waiting, okay? Especially in the condo market, because there is, generally there's about 10x the inventory, anywhere from like 8 to 10x the inventory in condos that we have in single family homes. Now, there is, of course, more buyers as well, but, at the same time, personally, I'm waiting to see if this correction happens if I'm a buyer right now, because, interest rates are almost at 7%, 6.62%. Why would you jump into something right now if maybe in 6 months or so, once we start to see the results of what the Fed has been doing start to play out in the market a little bit more, the next 6 to 12 months, I think that's when we're going to kind of see things start to come to fruition with, the Fed's monetary tightening, and its results as it relates to the real estate market. So if I'm a buyer right now, personally, I'm waiting for, maybe 6 months or so, like come around springtime of 2023, we'll have a better idea of, is the market actually going to crash or correct? If so, how much? Where are interest rates? Are they still going to be high? Are they higher? Are they maybe going to go back lower? Nobody really knows for sure. Personally, I'd be waiting to kind of see, because we're like at the top of what your monthly payments will probably be. Even Jerome Powell himself said that if he was a new home buyer, he would probably be waiting in this market. He would not be buying a home. Now, important to point out, I'm a real estate agent. So, most real estate agents would be biased and would tell you, it's always a good time to buy. So realize that I'm giving you guys the real advice, the real, guidance that I would do for myself. And I am doing for myself. So if you appreciate that, smash the like button if you haven't already. And if you already smashed the like button, but you didn't subscribe, subscribe. Why not? Because I'm giving it to you raw and real here, live and direct. So what does this mean if you're a seller? Well, if you're a seller right now, you're still pretty close to record high prices. So if you're thinking about selling, literally now's the time. You need to make sure that you're priced correctly, because the most momentum you're going to get on your listing is in the first couple weeks. And if you squander that, then you kind of shoot yourself in the foot. However, if you're priced properly, it should sell, pretty quickly. I mean, depends on what type of product it is, et cetera. But it shouldn't take more than, around 45 days to actually go under contract right now, which is more than it was. But, at the same time, that's not really that long of a time to sell a property. So don't, sometimes I think people got like really spoiled with, having 10 offers on the first day of listing and stuff back like, the last couple of years. That's not how it's going anymore. So take that out of your mind, but realize you do need to be priced properly. It's actually more important now than it has been over the last few years to price properly, because there's less competition in the market, for buyers, meaning there's less buyers in the market. However, the buyers that are in the market are on average going to be stronger qualified than the people who were able to afford that same property, but only when interest rates were at like 3%, right? If they can still afford it at 6.62%, they're probably a pretty strong candidate financially. Now, that being said, can't emphasize enough that it's important. One of the most important things if you're wanting to sell is to make sure you have an experienced, qualified, and quality agent. So if you're in the Miami area, I can definitely help you out with that. Whether you're looking to sell or looking to buy or invest, I help everybody out and treat them like family, make sure that they're taken care of. That's what I pride myself on. So if that's you, if you would like to speak about it, even if you're not 100% sure if you want to sell, give me a call, reach out to me. All my contact info is in the description down below. You can schedule a consultation with me for free on my Calendly link, and I'll help you out. I'll tell you, exactly what the market value of the home is, tell you exactly what I do to get people more money in less time for their properties, and we can take it from there. So that's about it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and let's keep our fingers crossed for this 20% correction, man. We need it. So hopefully that happens. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely make sure before you leave, go ahead and share it with somebody who also might enjoy it. Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty, your Miami real estate agent, and I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, keep on winning. Peace.